Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Car Wash Magazine Live. I am your host as always, Matt DeWolf, Editor-in-Chief of Car Wash Magazine. It is the happiest of days of the week, my friends. This is Thursday. We are coming to you live from Minneapolis, where it is snowing today. So not a great day to wash cars here in Minneapolis today, but hopefully wherever you are, you're getting some good weather and you're going to be busy this weekend. So I'm freezing here in the studio today because it is so cold, and when it starts to get warm outside, you start to adjust and you put your flip-flops on when it's above 32, and we got to go back to to coats and hats. So look, I'm going to do something today that we don't do a lot of, and we probably don't do enough of, but I've been having conversations in some podcasts and such of late that's reminded me that it's important to celebrate success. And so I'm going to take a few seconds here and just pat ourselves on the back here a little bit for what's been happening in our Q1. So I don't know about you all, but for me, Q1 blew through. I can't believe we're in April. I can't believe that the car wash show is in less than a month. But here we are, right? And so I took a minute the other day just to sit back and reflect and figure out what have we been doing this year? What have we been working on? And I just want to say I'm really proud of the progress that we've made within the ICA media department and what we've been able to put together this year. So just so you all know what the heck we're doing, we have rebranded our magazine. That's at the printers as we speak. You'll see that at the car wash show and in your mailboxes if you're fortunate enough to receive that. We've launched an app, a car wash magazine app, so you can get everything you need in the palm of your hand. We have put out more than a dozen of these episodes of this exact program for you all to consume. And we've done the same on the podcast side. And guess what? In all of that, we also created a brand new look and feel and strategy for our ongoing Car Wash News newsletter. So that's just the beginning. That's Q1, right? We got a whole year of this to go. So I can't wait to share more of our successes with you. But guess what? I am more excited about sharing your successes. So what have you done in Q1 that you're really proud of? I want to share that with everybody. You've got a great story to tell, and I'm here to help you tell it. So let me know. Put it in the comments or email me at mdewolf@carwash.org. So share those successes. Now, real quickly this week, we've got a little car wash, this week in car wash news for you, a little twikwa. So what's going on, friends? Let's check it out. We've got Superstar named number one by Ranking Arizona. That's got some Raising Arizona vibes. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I probably just dated myself there, but that was one of my favorite movies growing up. This is not that. So congratulations to Superstar on their ranking. That's a Best of award for their number one position by Ranking Arizona. This is another biggie. We've got Tidal Wave Auto Spa opening number 100. That's a milestone if I've ever heard of one. So congratulations to our friends at Tidal Wave. And then in continuing with the family nature of this business and this industry, Mike's Car Wash has named Joe Dom as president. Lots of Doms in that particular company. So it's good to see that family legacy continuing to stay in this industry and contribute in majorly meaningful ways. So congratulations to Joe on his appointment. And then the last news item for you all this week in Car Wash, we've got Go Car Wash along with Suds Creative partnering to plant 35,000 trees. So that's a lot of trees, and you might be wondering, well, how did they decide on that number? Where did that come from? They gave away, they planted rather, one tree for every new membership that they sold from February 14 to now. So that's a pretty good quarter. That's a pretty good Q1 for Go Car Wash. Congratulations on that. More importantly, congratulations on making an impact where it matters and making this thing about more than washing cars. Now, we've got a show coming up. If you are not living under a rock, you've heard us talk about it a lot. One of the things that I'm most excited for at the Car Wash Show, aside from being able to play Plinko with everybody and hang out in the studio and see all of you, is the fact that we've got the one pass price this year. And so that means that you all have access to our great education speakers to be able to take some of those great ideas home. I got a promo for you from one of the individuals from the show this year. He's going to be speaking at the show, obviously. He's also going to be a guest on this program in the coming months, so you have to make sure you check that out. This is Chris Trudell. He's a global futurist and trend spotter. Check him out.
I'm Chris Trudell. I'm a global futurist. I look at trends and patterns all around the world that are going on every single day. And I'm thrilled to be joining everyone at your Car Wash Association event in Nashville, where I've flown in all the way from Australia through California. I'm here in Chicago, and I've been winging my way over there to talk about the crazy world of consumers and how people and human beings are changing every single day, and what a post-COVID world looks like for the next 10 years. And mark my words, the next 3 years of innovation that we're going to see are going to shape and define the next 100 years.
There you go, friends. So that's one of the speakers that you've got access to with your one price pass at the Car Wash Show. Okay, so what are we here for today? We are here to talk to EverWash. So EverWash has this goal, a very publicly stated goal, that they're going to be the GrubHub of car washing. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, for EverWash, what that really means is that they're taking a different approach in how you build a national car wash brand. And so for many years, we've seen groups try to build national car wash brands. We're seeing a lot of change and development and growth happening right now. But EverWash has a little bit of a different approach. And so we're going to share that with you here, just a piece of this conversation. You can get the rest of that conversation in your Car Wash, the podcast. Wherever you are listening to that, wherever you are consuming that content, that's where we've got the full conversation for you coming up right after this program. But for a taste and for a really nice look behind the brand at EverWash, here you go, friends.
So I was looking at the car wash space and said, what can I do that brings all of our background into this space? Once we figured out the numbers and saw that the average customer just doesn't work that much, and that weather is a huge part of this business. Obviously, these numbers. You lose 85 days a year to weather in the industry. It just seemed like such a natural play for membership. Our hardest thing when we started was just convincing a car wash owner that selling a membership actually made them more money. Most wash owners knew my car wash does X amount of washes a year, and I knew what my revenue was. But they really fought the unlimited membership model because they thought that somebody's going to beat them. Somebody's going to come every day. This customer is going to come 20 times, and they're worth so much more as a pay-per-service. They just didn't understand what the average customer was worth. So once we had the information, it was really easy to start selling car wash owners on the fact that they have to change their business model, and this is a much better way to go. And then that took us years. And by the way, we still have those conversations with car wash owners to say, if you need to sell memberships, this is the only way to go. And we still have to convince wash owners, even today, with what's going on in the industry, that membership makes them more money. That's
essentially it. Like, they care about average ticket value, right, not lifetime value, and it's sort of an interesting battle to have.
Well, and I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's like, it's the devil, right? Look, weather might be variable for me, but I know that I'm going to do X amount of dollars based on my wash volume in any given year, and I'm okay with that. But I think what you start to see is that anybody who makes that shift, they probably added 10 years to the end of their life. I mean, honestly, like the stress and just the ability to just be a little bit more laid back in your everyday workday is huge.
Yeah, and it's hard to change. I mean, we get it. I mean, we had to change dramatically in the gym business, and to really come to work and have a different mindset and say, I'm going to sell memberships today instead of sell upsells for Tire Shine or something else. It's just a different way of thinking about it. So you just have to really change your thought process. And again, even today, you have a lot of washes out there that haven't really gone all in on it. They're sort of in. They know they need to do it, but they're not really doing it correctly.
Yeah.
So it's we see that all day long, and that's where we come in and we can really help them.
Yeah, it was so much harder in the gym industry because we went full bore, right? Like there was no more cash, right? So imagine what that 18 months was like when people walk in, they put $400 on your desk for the year, and you say, nope, give me a credit card, this could be $35 a month, and your cash flow is gone.
Well, I think what's also interesting is like, as much as we want to feel like the industry is, like you're saying, fully membership based, it's not really. And then there's lots of people in different phases of that transition, and I think it's like it's not an easy thing to figure out, right? And there's lots of variables in the car wash environment, that just, I mean, you got to overcome them. Things like, we talk a lot about, well, make sure you're manning your stations. Okay, yeah, that's great, that's important. Well, make sure that you have a really well trained sales proposition for that thing. Make sure everybody's kind of on the same script. Yeah, that's important too. But I think what we often miss in this space is that it often depends on what you've done along that person's journey leading up to their time to hit your wash, what that experience is like at your wash in total, and then what you do after the fact to follow up with them and then remind them about the great experience they had, so that it really starts to turn into a longer kind of sales nurturing approach, instead of this transactional thing, Scott, that you were talking about, where it's like, yeah, I threw car wash on the side of my building and people come and they're going to swipe a card maybe, or they're going to hand me cash and go through and get out of here. That's it. People want more. And I think the membership side of it is just going to make that escalate even more in terms of like, hey, I'm a member of this thing. You better do a good job and you better talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think overall it's really, improving the business. I mean, I think in general there you've got, making the business a much better experience. Obviously there's the washes that are coming out now are much, much nicer. There's an experience to come through. The level of training for the staff is improving, and I think the industry as a whole is elevated, similar to what happened to us in the gym business. Once we started making more money, we could afford to pay people more money, and we hired a better workforce. And I think what you're seeing is the same thing in the car wash space right now. And you actually have, people that are really seeing a big career that they can really grow into.
Yeah. So, okay. So I catapulted us a little bit into, I started off this episode saying, where have you been? And then I threw us right into where are you now? Let's take a quick step back for everybody listening, because, if you just listen to what we just said, it sounds like you guys said, hey, we should do memberships, and then you exploded. But it wasn't quite that easy. Like, you had to have all these tough conversations. Talk to me about, so 2013, the idea kind of comes in place. 2016, that app launches in Philly, and then by 2019, you're at 200 plus, kind of using your service. Maybe talk about how you got from the app launching in 16 to the 200 plus, and then maybe give us an update on kind of like where we're at today.
Sure. So I had a friend in Philadelphia that was in the car wash space, and he agreed to let us test our app out and really what we were doing at his washes. So really learned a lot there. And once we figured out that we could really sell memberships on site, we scaled up in the Philly, New Jersey market. And we were really originally going to focus just regionally and say, hey, we're going to build out Philadelphia, New Jersey. But then we started getting phone calls and hearing from people in other parts of the country, and we decided, you know what, if they're willing, they want to work with us, we should do it. So the first wash we put on that wasn't locally was in Seattle, Washington. Somebody called us from the furthest place possible. So we had all these washes in Philadelphia, New Jersey, and somebody called us from Seattle and said, I want to be part of this. How do I get involved? So once we figured out like we can really do this and really go nationwide, we decided just to do it, and we'd go anywhere. So we grew very quickly, went from 200. We're currently at about 800 locations and putting on about 30 new locations a month. And again, we're trying to increase that capacity to put on over 100 a month. And essentially, I'll let Scott talk about this also, but originally what we were doing and really still doing is we are the membership arm of a lot of the washes that we work with. So if you come to us, we'll partner with you. We'll help you with your signage. We'll train your staff. We're going to come out and spend time with you. We're going to help you with marketing. We're going to run all your back office, call center support, billing. build you a website. We really do it all. We're a turnkey solution for membership at these car washes. Originally, it was guys that didn't have membership at all. So we'd launch your membership, show you exactly what to do. But ultimately, what came out of this is we started taking over memberships. A lot of the car washes that we work with, about 50% of them, they tried membership on their own, and they either plateaued or didn't want to run the membership anymore and really just wanted help. A lot of these operators, they just don't have the time to focus on everything. It's hard enough just to run the wash every day. To maximize the membership takes a whole other playbook. You really have to be diligent about it. So we come in, bring our resources, and really help them get there. And again, we're all commission based. So we only win if the wash owner wins. So we can help you increase your revenue. That is how we win as a company. So we are aligned, where a lot of other businesses in this industry are really just selling the car wash owner something and saying good luck. We are the complete opposite. We are working with them every day to make sure this is successful. And then what we're also doing is, if you have a membership program and you're successful on your own, you can also just layer us on top of what your current system is, and we can send you members from our channel partner relationship. So again, we are the largest network of washes in the country. That gives us the opportunity to make a lot of big deals with a lot of the big companies out there that we can drive a lot of traffic to our wash partners.
Yeah, we sort of look at it, Matt, like you might be a successful regional restaurant, but you're not going to turn away GrubHub business, right? So a person has GrubHub or Uber Eats, they know they like your pizza place or your Greek restaurant or your Mexican restaurant, but they're still opening up GrubHub, looking and saying, well, what am I going to do tonight? And they pick that and go. And that Mexican restaurant, that Greek restaurant, they're not turning away that business. And we want to be the same thing for the car wash industry. So you might have 200 car washes and you're doing great, but you don't have a national footprint to do T-Mobile Tuesday like we're doing, adding tens of thousands of members in a day or two, or partnering with Sirius Satellite Radio, where we're giving away 4 months of Sirius with every membership or as a retention tool. So because we're nationwide, we have the ability to make these large level partnerships. And I hate to keep harkening back to the gym industry, but one of the things that we did at Global Fit, because after I sold my gyms, I joined that team, worked there for 7 years. We made deals with Aetna where we were able to walk into gyms and say, you've got 7,412 people living or working within 5 miles who have Aetna. We're going to, if you join the platform, we're going to reach out to them and let them know they can join at a discount. And so it's essentially the same thing. We're building these large national partnerships and focusing on being the first company in this industry to drive people onto car wash lots, right? Let us just layer on top of your membership program and be complimentary. And that was a shift that we knew that we had to make. Like, people recognized EverWash as, okay, I can either have EverWash or I can have my own membership program. And Scott and I were thinking, we're at that point where we can make these big partnerships. It's time to begin to pivot and change that perception of us from, I can have my own program or I can have EverWash, but I can't have both. Make these big national partnerships and really work toward becoming the first consumer brand in this industry.
And when did that shift kind of take place? Because I will fully admit that in my brain it was always it was EverWash or not EverWash and.
That's right. Matt, it's fairly recent. So we made this decision to do this maybe a year ago, but it took some time to really work out in our minds and technology wise and bring a really good marketing team. And we just last month hired a VP of marketing who comes from a really large company who's doing an amazing job. So while we made this decision a year ago, getting the flywheel going hasn't necessarily been very easy, and that's because we're moving so fast as a company, and the recent funding has really helped us to bring a lot more people in. So it's not me and Scott coming up with ideas and burdening the rest of a small team with how to make it work. We're now burdening a larger team with how to make it work.
So Heather Scott said a word that I want to key in on, and it was resources, right? I really like this idea of what you all are doing in terms of being an organization's membership resource, because from my perspective, right, like when I think about things a lot of times with the marketing slants. Well, when you're marketing your wash, you have the same kind of problems as when you're trying to manage your membership program, because you don't have enough resource on the marketing side ever to be able to actually do all the things. And it's not unlike what you do on the membership side. You generally are not going to have all the resource that you need to really optimize what you're doing and really make sure that you are driving traffic to your location, that you are converting it in an optimal way, that you're following up the way that you need to, that you're retaining people, that you're winning back the way you should. I mean, it goes on, right? Like these are hard things to do, and they require dedicated resources. All of that said, can you give me a couple of tips of things that like are easy wins for people when you guys go in and you're like, hey, we're going to help with the membership program? What are like the top 2 or 3 or 4 things that you look at?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy actually. I mean, I think first thing is pricing. Is it priced correctly on the package? You see a lot of pricing out of whack with membership, where somebody's selling something for a multiple that's just not going to sell. You're going to get maybe your best washers, but you're not going to. What we're really trying to do in the membership game is get people to change their behavior. So they're not going to change their behavior if you make it, too expensive for them to see that there's a real value here. So you have to price it correctly. The second thing is, you really need to think about who's selling it on site. You're the employee that has been there for 20 years, that's loads cars and has been great, might not be your best person to actually sell memberships. You need to really have somebody focused on selling memberships full time. That person's got to be talking to every customer, every car that comes through, every car, every time. If you're not doing that, you're leaving, obviously you're not going to have a successful membership program, similar to a gym business. In the gym business, we have full-time salespeople. That's all they do is sell memberships. We have full-time people that sell personal training. You need full-time people to make this work. And they're just simply, they're not loading cars. They're selling memberships. Yeah. The other thing that's really important is training them correctly and tracking conversion. How many cars did we see today? What was our conversion? If you're not converting at a mature site, if you're not converting at over 10% a day, you're not running a successful membership. A new site can convert at a much higher percentage than that. Yeah. But 10% is the magic number on a daily basis. If you can just do those 3 things correctly, you'll be in a much better position.
Hey friends. So you got a little snippet in there, huh? Yeah. So I was cutting it off a little soon on you, because guess what I want to do? I want to drive you to listen to the rest of that conversation, because it is extremely insightful, and there's so much more going on in there. It's like a 42-minute in total conversation. So make sure you check it out. It's a Car Wash the Podcast. You can get that obviously wherever you're consuming your podcast content, or you can make it really simple and just go to carwashmagazine.com, and everything you need is going to be there. Simpler yet, download the app, Car Wash Magazine, the app. Friends, download the thing and check it out. It's super fun. And you can make sure that you get notifications so that you never miss one of these episodes. Isn't that cool? Well, until next time, which is next week at Thursday at 11:30. Friends, there's just one thing that you need to do out there this weekend when you're killing it washing cars, and that is keep it clean.